as president, Kamala Harris is going to fight for you.
In the lead-up to Election Day, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump are engaged in a closely contested campaign. Both individuals are actively visiting key battleground states to rally support for Harris and other Democratic candidates on the ballot. President Biden travels to his native state of Pennsylvania on Tuesday. He will be the main attraction at the Philadelphia Democratic City Committee's autumn fundraising dinner. First Lady Jill Biden will be in suburban Philadelphia. She will headline an afternoon event in Chester County and then speak in the evening in Montgomery County, where she grew up. The First Lady is campaigning on behalf of Harris in the 7 key swing states whose razor-thin margins decided her husband's 2020 victory over Trump. Biden's latest campaign trail foray for fellow Democrats comes amid reports of a lack of coordination between the president's and vice president's political advisors. The Biden's appearances also come a day after the Democratic and Republican presidential nominees campaigned in Pennsylvania. Harris held 2 events in Erie, in the northwest corner of the state, and Trump in suburban Philadelphia, in the southeastern portion of the Commonwealth. Pennsylvania, along with Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada, had razor-thin margins that decided Biden's 2020 victory over Trump. The 7 states will likely determine whether Harris or Trump wins the 2024 presidential election. Jill Biden wasted no time after she stepped up to the microphone at a suburban Detroit restaurant.
Kamala Harris built a career serving the public to protect women and girls like Wanda. That is Kamala Harris. A tough, compassionate, decisive leader. That's the kind of president you deserve, Michigan. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Jill, but what's Kamala going to do about my grocery bill? Well, prices spiked during the pandemic, remember? But now corporations are keeping those prices high, making record profits while families are paying more for groceries. And Donald Trump wants to give those same corporations a tax cut so that they can make even more money. And that's unacceptable. Kamala will lower prices. She will fight back against greedy corporations and crack down on price gouging. So here's the thing. Businesses will still do well, but they'll have to play by fair rules.
Now, some have come to the Detroit area recently and thrown around some insults, but from what I've seen, this is a vibrant, thriving city, she said. It was a swipe at Republican Donald Trump, who aimed a recent dart at the most populous city in a critical Midwestern battleground state. The First Lady was back on the campaign trail for the first time in months, but she is no longer pushing Democrats to support her husband, President Joe Biden. Instead, she is now putting her energy into boosting Vice President Kamala Harris, whom Biden endorsed for president after he dropped his re-election bid. On Tuesday, the First Lady wrapped up a 5-day swing through 5 battleground states. In her campaign speech, which has been retooled to focus on the vice president, Harris says her background has helped make her a tough, compassionate, decisive leader. She cites Harris's experience in high school, helping a friend who was being molested by her stepfather, and her career as a district attorney and California's attorney general.
So today, I want to tell you about Kamala Harris. Before her time as vice president, back before she was a United States Senator or Attorney General of California, even before she joined law enforcement as a prosecutor and district attorney, putting away dangerous criminals and making our communities safer. I want to tell you a story about when Kamala was in high school, a moment that defined her life's work. Kamala began to notice that her friend Wanda never seemed to want to go home from school. And at school, Wanda just seemed a little withdrawn, a little off. So one day, Kamala pressed her. She said, "What's wrong?" And Wanda confided to her that she was being molested by her stepfather. And Kamala didn't just listen. She did something about it instinctively. She said, "Wanda, you have to come stay with us." And Wanda did. And then Kamala Harris built a career serving the public to protect women and girls like Wanda. That is Kamala Harris.
She promotes Harris's plans to bring down grocery and housing costs by going after greedy corporations, as well as her proposal to give $25,000 in down payment assistance to people trying to buy their first homes.
And Kamala has told us about the joy on her mother's face when she said to Kamala, "This is our house. All of us deserve that pride." Kamala is going to fight back against corporate greed that has driven up those housing costs, and she'll give first-time home buyers $25,000 to help with their down payment. Because in our country, if you work hard, you should be able to afford a home for your family.
Then Biden shifts to what's at stake for women in this election, recalling how stunned and devastated she was in 2022 when the 3 justices Trump nominated for the U.S. Supreme Court helped undo a woman's constitutional right to an abortion. Harris has been the administration's point person on the abortion and reproductive rights issue for the past 2 years.
Trump's abortion bans have taken away the ability for women to make their own health care decisions. Our health, safety, and freedoms shouldn't hinge on the state you live in. As president, Kamala Harris will proudly sign a national law to restore reproductive freedom to every woman in every state in our country. You 3 ways that Kamala Harris is going to work for you and your families: lowering grocery costs, making housing affordable, and protecting our freedoms. These aren't radical ideas. They're just practical ways to make life easier and more fair. As president, Kamala Harris is going to fight for you.